For your first timed writing, we'll be looking at a passage from Tom Jones by Henry Fielding. Take about 10 minutes to carefully read and annotate this passage. Keep in mind what the prompt is asking you to consider in the passage. In this case, you're asked to analyze the techniques that Fielding employs in this scene to characterize Mr. Allworthy and Mrs. Deborah Wilkins. As you read, annotate devices and techniques the author uses to distinguish between these two characters. Be sure to address how and why the devices are important in the author's portrayal of the characters. After reading, consider how the author uses direct and indirect characterization for both Mr. Allworthy and Mrs. Wilkins. What feelings do these instances create around each of the characters? What impact does Fielding's word choice have? Which character is named rather immediately and which one is not? Is this important? What might be the reader's first reaction to Mr. Allworthy and his behavior? How about Mrs. Wilkins? What might be Fielding's intentions here? In the third paragraph, Mrs. Wilkins does a majority of the speaking. What do her words indicate about her? How much has Mr. Allworthy spoken? How and why is this significant? Describe Mr. Allworthy's reactions to Mrs. Wilkins and the infant in the fourth paragraph. How would you characterize Mr. Allworthy's reactions to this uncommon situation of finding an infant in his bed compared to those of Mrs. Wilkins? Hopefully at this point, you've noticed that Mr. Allworthy and Mrs. Wilkins are foils. How do Mr. Allworthy's actions highlight Mrs. Wilkins' behavior and statements? Your annotations should indicate a clear differentiation between the two characters.